Laughing match with Mapfre, and we prevailed in the end. I think we were losing a lot on the other boat, so they decided to come down, and that's all I know about that one.
Welcome everybody to the 11th edition of the Loro Piana Superyacht.
Yeah, it was a tough day for us, the race committee, and frustrating for the competitors. Never got that breeze that was forecast, so no race day. But next 3 days look really, really good. Particularly on Friday, we have breeze, and it should be a great series.
Usually we have two races today after the rainy day yesterday, and I hope the weather stays the same with this fresh wind.
It's been, I think, a wonderful day. First time for the super yacht doing 2 races in a day, and looking forward for tomorrow.
Today was absolutely fabulous. Perfect weather for sailing. And with 2 bullets behind us, it's all to play for.
I'm very happy, I'm very proud that the boat won this regatta, and we saw some results.
The winner of the Silver Jubilee Cup at the 2018 edition of the Loro Piana Superyacht Regatta goes to My Song, Pierluigi Loro Piana.
Italy wins Melges 24 World Championship. With light, fickle winds for much of the 2018 Melges 24 World Championship on June 5 to 9, champagne conditions arrived in time to conclude the 10-race series in Victoria, BC. For the fleet of 41 teams from 5 nations, Andrea Rachelli's Alta from Italy and his crew of Filippo Togni, Gaudenzio Bommi, Matteo Ramian, and Michele Grigerato have claimed their first and well-deserved Melges 24 Worlds title. Nothing was confirmed in the leaderboard when entering the last day of racing. Trailing the lead by 2 points, the Italian crew has been able to sail very consistent races, collecting as the only crew 3 bullets to their series, and discarding the 8th result as their worst finish to ultimately win by a margin of 6 points. Silver in the overall was Alan Field's WTF from the United States, and winning bronze was Bruce Ayres Monsoon also from the United States. Meanwhile in Corinthian Division, the local Royal Victoria Yacht Club team of Full Circle by Robert Britton with crew of Graham Harney, Jose Grandizo, Liam Welgan Gunn, and Reed Cannon defeated 24 other entries in Corinthian Division.
Burning 35 for the pin, about 2 above here. 2, 1, and it's a duck, it's a duck, everyone calm down. At them if you can. Copy that. Only if you're happy at the moment. Let's go to point.
A little more pressure in 2, 1.
Sur les virements de bord ou tu l'as vu? Ça c'était bien, je pense, de me compter. Buena vuelta.
The next leg from Cardiff to Gothenburg, yeah, it's going to be a crucial leg points-wise. We know the pressure is on for the two red boats. We're in the flow, so we just have to beat them again because then the scores will get closer.
It's definitely going to be a leg of everything. It's looking predominantly quite light. We've obviously got a lot of land to negotiate, so a very tricky leg.
There's lots of opportunities. It looks really tricky. Already the start on Sunday looks relatively light airs. Of course, we have the currents with us.
Most likely chances that we'll go round the outside of Ireland, we'll go between the Shetland Islands and the top of the Orkney Islands around the top of Scotland.
KP and myself sailed quite a few times around Ireland, and of course once we're coming close to Denmark, that's my home water, so there might be some areas where we actually can make jumps on other teams by just having some more local knowledge.
We've got the potential to win this race from a points perspective. I think it's important not to let that dazzle what we're here to do, and yeah, I think it's, for me, I just focus on the leg and not about the bigger picture.
Auckland city centre, where it touches the Waitemata Harbour, has always been an important welcoming point and centre of commerce for New Zealand. Over the past decade, Auckland Council has improved the way Aucklanders and visitors experience the city. Here's what's happening over the next few years. New public spaces to both Lower Queen and Quay Streets. A new ferry basin layout making it easier for more vessels to arrive and depart. Improvements to Queen's Wharf, allowing Auckland to host larger cruise ships. Upgrades to the length of our waterfront Quay Street, making it easier for pedestrians to get around. A new bridge crossing Viaduct Basin to Wynyard Quarter. Plus, an exciting new waterfront space as part of Auckland hosting the America's Cup in 2021. A space that will continue to be used well into the future. Meanwhile, a brand new neighbourhood continues to grow in Wynyard Quarter, and the potential of the future of Wynyard Point will be realised when the tank farm makes way for a new public space that connects back to Victoria Park and onto the city centre. Once delivered, these improvements will make Auckland's city centre even more desirable and a stronger economic force, both now and into the future.
You know, we were the first boat from Carrington's. He's been building many of my previous boats. So when he set up his own boat building facilities, it was an obvious choice. So it's been great working with him and working with Sean and his team. These boats are quite advanced, so we still have a learning curve, but when everything works fine, the boat is just a rocket ship. We've been sailing with the 52 Super Series, but we felt that it was time to come back home to the Solent. And this class has just been growing very well the last few years. From a design point of view, that this version of Carkeek's 40-footers is an evolution of the hull. And the other big innovation here is the electrical propulsion, so the eel propulsion. What we find with this is that, of course, it's much cleaner, it's just tidier downstairs, and of course it's the right thing to do. The whole world is going electric, so I think it's time that Grand Prix yacht racing boats also goes to electrical engines. And what I particularly like is that it's the right size for the Solent. And the other thing that is fantastic is that the rules of owner-driver and Pro-Am. So we have maximum 5 professionals and we have 4. And then the rest of the team is young sailors who are keen to learn. If you look around the international yacht circuits, there's the average age is going up every year. So we were very keen to help younger sailors to get into big boat sailing. So this is a great platform for that. we sailed against some of these boats in previous, when a few years ago when there were 445s here in the Solent. So some of them we sailed against before. It's a good fleet and there's going to be some really good competition.
Hey Pierre, what's on for breakfast today?
Porridge and blueberries.
Ah, that looks amazing.
Yes, time to have breakfast.
We're here funneling through. This is Bureau Valley. It's funneling. We wait for the funneling effect. It doesn't really show up.
Yes,
so much.
very important.
Here, some rocks to avoid. We just did, barely. Spinnaker up. And the other boat, Bureau Valley. So we have to do 4 more drives to get through here. We're just not making this other mark there in front. So we will probably come up. It's beautiful. There's some sun on this valley. That looks very nice. Aha, here's the funneling. Now the wind accelerates.
Welcome to the 2018 52 Super Series season, and here we are in Sibenik in Croatia. The circuit visits Croatia for the very first time, so it's a whole new set of challenges and a great regatta in prospect.
It's a big history in Croatian sailing, and this is like a top of the tops to bring this event to Croatia, and we all love it. All the sailors are trying to be here. All the sailors that I know came to see this, and it's amazing.
We've voted it the best place that we've been in with the Super Series or the Med Cup. I think this place is spectacular.
The highly anticipated 2018 the TP52 season starts with 12 boats from 8 nations competing, 9 new boats.
Every boat is upped its game. You know, there's more coaches, there's more analysts, there's better sailors on board. The level just keeps going up.
And there are 3 new teams racing, Luna Rossa, the America's Cup team, Asso Platinum's Phoenix, and the Brazilian team on Onda.
It's so incredible to sail a TP52. It's like if you are driving a Formula 1, no?
And sailors of the highest caliber joining or returning, America's Cup winner Jimmy Spithill, Ray Davis and Dean Barker.
We're jumping into a class that's pretty developed. But that's great, you know, it's good to jump in the deep end, go through some good moments, some tough moments, and build together.
I think any combination just takes time to build and develop, and so, you know, it's no better way than under pressure in a race environment like this.
The regatta starts with a short diet of windward-leeward races, and it's quantum racing and platoon showing best form on the first day.
We had a marvellous first race with a win, but we had an even better second race because we had a bit bad luck on the last part of the first upwind in the second race. Finally, we made good gains on the downwind and on the second upwind, so I'm pretty happy with the result of the second race.
And then a beautiful coastal race, a tour through the islands in light breezes. A little short windward loop sets the fleet off, and slide away to a big win. Cause for celebration on the Paprec. The French amateur team gets second.
We are here for fun. We like this Super Series. It's the place to be if you like sailing.
And the circuit makes big steps forward in the sustainability theme. A new blue water system on the dock, free clear drinking water with a limitless supply is very popular with the teams. And underwater, the cleanup at the dock. Both these initiatives are coming from the crews.
The communication what we're having with the different ambassadors is getting better and better. So the whole thing is getting more and more proactive, and that's exactly the plan for this year.
There is no bad need.
Quantum Racing then come back from a disappointing coastal race, winning races 4 and 6. But Les Bleus, the French team, have their moment in the spotlight when they win a race, a team which includes young amateur Olympic class sailors.
I'm very happy to give the opportunity to these young guys to start in these very high level circuits.
A light wind finale on the final Sunday of the regatta. Platoon escape up the right hand side of the course and lead all the way around to win and to take second place. And Quantum Racing cross the line in 7th, and that's enough to give them the first regatta title of the season.
We've always been really fortunate to have really great sailors on the boat, but the new energy is really, really good. You know, it's an absolute positive influence to the performance of the boat.
Final standings: Quantum Racing on 29 points, Platoon on 34, Sled on 41, Azura and Onda tie on 46 points, but Azura get it on countback for 4th, Onda 5th at the first regatta. We've had such a great week here in Croatia for the first time in Sibenik. It's been fantastic sailing, Quantum Racing winning the regatta. But if you love water sports, if you like sunshine, if you like grapefruit, then join us in Zadar.
I'm sure in the future there will be a Croatian team attending to Super Series Regatta.
Sorry, a little down? No. Have fun voyage, guys. See you later. Thank you for everything. See you later. Thanks. Much appreciated.
Very early with 56 seconds to go at the windward end, Sunhunkai Scallywag. They got a man up the rig, and why do they do that?
They do that because they have fully battened mainsails, so they need to kick the battens through if they're going to jibe or tack before the start. There's just not enough pressure out there to actually get the sail full on the correct side.
And there does look like there's a bit of tide underneath them, taking them over the line. This would be very dangerous if you're over the line, have to recross. Sally, explain why.
For sure, and they all look really early. I think they've misjudged this, how much tide is underneath them. They're having to go back already. I mean, I guess that's better than doing it at the gun, but yeah, here we go. A little bit of instant with Sunhunkai Scallywag and Turn the Tide on Plastic having to probably do a circle here.
Yeah, Sunhunkai Scallywag pushing out Turn the Tide on Plastic, and there may be a decision on the umpires. 7 seconds to go. Here we go, all 7 boats, the penultimate leg start, a sprint to Gothenburg. Every point counts, an overall victory is on the line. All clear. But, at the windward end, Sally, look at that. Sunhunkai Scallywag are going to hit the pin end of the line, perhaps. They've pushed out, Turned the Tide on Plastic, and they've had to unroll their big A0, and it is Mapfre, Team Brunel, Dongfeng, Axo Nobel, Vestas 11th Hour Racing, all on port, great start, but at the windward end, at the pin, it is Sunhunkai Scallywag and Turn the Tide on Plastic. Both have had to go around and restart. They couldn't quite squeeze themselves in. What a disaster for those 2 boats. Here we are on with the drone. Let's go down the starting line, and it is bow for bow for bow. All of those 5 boats. Let's get up to the helicopter. IMOCA, what do you say?
Well, I have to give credit to certainly 5 of the 7 boats. To light your boat up in these conditions so close to the line as they did was really quite a feat. The worst thing, of course, would have been to have been over the line and having to fight the tide as it turns to get back. But a bit of a mess down the pin by Scallywag. They caused all the trouble by being early and tacking onto starboard, forcing Turn the Tide on Plastic to tack around. Both of those boats are still at least 3 boat lengths from even starting this race, but it's not a coincidence, I don't think, that down at the committee boat end we've got Mapfre, Brunel and Dongfeng, who look like they've already started their three-way battle. They're next to each other, and Mapfre seems to be taking Bice's advice and heading for the inshore passage.
Just info from the umpires is a penalty on Sunhunkai Scallywag, Rule 13, tacking and not keeping clear. Do you see that out on the water? Are they doing their penalty?
Yeah, they've just started to do their penalty now. They've got the masthead code 0 rolled up, and it's very hard to try and do anything in these conditions. And I believe there'll be quite a few frustrated souls on that boat.
That's right, you can't control the race from behind, so it's really important to get off to a good start. And actually what's going to go on over the next 6 hours is this is a race against the clock to get west. They're going to have the tide underneath them until about 10 o'clock this evening. And if they don't get out of the channel in that time and the tide turns against them and the winds remain light, then they'll have to probably anchor and won't be able to go anywhere. So if 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 boats manage to poke their way out into the wind in that 6-hour period, they could get a whole 6-hour cycle ahead. So it's really, really important to get away clean, and they've just got to get west as fast as they can. But it's not going to be easy. The pilot here, he's doing a great job. We went up high, and I had a look around the core, and I can tell you there isn't much wind in the next sort of, say, 10 miles.